At 4 a.m. off the coast of Ras Hafun, Somalia, 78 armed speedboats raced toward the USNS Pecos. The Pecos was a massive U.S. supply ship carrying over 10 million gallons of fuel, and it appeared to be all alone. The pirates believed they were setting a trap. They had planned their attack for weeks, timing it perfectly to capture the valuable ship. But they were wrong. The U.S. Navy had set its own trap. What happened next was a demonstration of naval power, where technology, patience, and perfect timing were the real weapons. This is the story of how the U.S. Navy defeated this entire attacking force in just 5 minutes. Subscribe and follow as we reveal the secrets. What really happened when 78 pirate ships entered the kill box? Let's explore together. At 2:43 a.m., the sea was pitch black. The USNS Pecos was moving slowly, about 38 miles from shore. The ship was running dark. It sent out no radar signals, had no visible escort ships, and no planes could be seen overhead. On its deck, it carried fuel and supplies for a U.S. aircraft carrier group. To the pirates watching from the coast, the Pecos looked like the perfect prize. It was a huge, valuable target that seemed completely unprotected. Capturing it would be worth tens of millions of dollars. And the pirates were ready. For 3 weeks, U.S. intelligence had been watching strange activity on the Somali coast. Fishing spots were being turned into secret bases. Speedboats were being given stronger hulls, new engines, and heavy weapons, including machine guns and RPG launchers. Then, nearly 80 of these boats suddenly vanished from tracking systems. At the same time, secret radio messages were detected. It was clear a large, coordinated attack was being planned, and the target was a major military supply ship. The U.S. Navy knew this was not a random attack, but an organized force. Instead of attacking the pirates' bases, the Pentagon decided to set a trap. The Pecos, which truly was on a mission to deliver fuel, was chosen to be the bait. All its escort ships were ordered to hide 30 to 40 miles away. Its radar was turned off, but the Navy was watching. MQ-9 Reapers were deployed from Djibouti, hovering at 12,000 meters, observing the entire area with infrared. A Virginia-class submarine, USS Texas, held position underwater to the southeast, tracking all movements from shore to open sea. The area around Pecos was tactically mapped in detail, codenamed Kill Box 7. The kill zone was defined down to the coordinates, firing arcs, and intercept points. Every sea lane, every corridor of approach was coated with firepower. From underwater torpedoes and short-range cruise missiles to naval guns and automated defense systems, anything entering the kill box would be sealed, classified, and obliterated on command. At 2:38 a.m., the Reaper drone spotted 3 large groups of boats leaving the coast. The first group from Harard Hare, over 30 speedboats fanning out in formation. The second from Hobyo, moving steadily, maintaining steady spacing. The third from north of Isle, closing in at 43 to 45 knots, all without tracking signals, no radio, no warnings. A total of 78 armed vessels were converging on Pecos. Each carried 3 to 5 gunmen, machine guns, RPGs, communication gear, a 3-pronged pincer formation surrounding the target from west, south, and east. By 2:59 a.m., the very last boat had crossed the invisible line into the kill box. The operations center confirmed the entire enemy force was inside the kill zone. No alarms sounded, but high above, deep below, and just over the horizon, every weapon was ready. The battle hadn't started, but it was already over. At 3:12 a.m., the drones tracked the 78 boats as they formed 5 smaller groups, still attacking from 3 main directions. Their formation was precise, designed to support each other with crossfire. These boats had reinforced hulls, powerful engines, and were armed with heavy machine guns and RPGs. The gunmen wore body armor and used radios. At 3:23 a.m., a boat on the left flank fired its machine gun at the Pecos. The shots missed, landing harmlessly in the water. The Pecos did not react. It didn't shoot back, change course, or turn on its radar. The pirates laughed over their radios. They were sure the ship was helpless. At 3:31 a.m., they fired 2 RPGs as a warning. These also splashed into the sea. On the Pecos, the crew was safely locked down, and the ship continued its slow, steady course, acting as if it didn't even know it was under attack. But in the darkness, the hidden Navy force was watching every move. On the destroyer USS Porter, the missile system had locked onto 48 of the boats. On the destroyer USS Preble, the 127mm main gun had rotated, its targeting computers already aimed at the boat clusters. Underwater, the USS Texas had opened its torpedo tubes. High above, the Reaper drone was color-coding the targets. Red for boats with RPGs, orange for those with machine guns. The trap was tightening. At 3:47 a.m., the pirates began their final move, closing in from all sides. 1 minute later, the lead boat crossed the final line into the heart of the kill zone. All U.S. weapon systems switched to a hot standby, ready for the final order. At 4 a.m., the 78th and final boat was inside the main kill zone. The Reaper's radar confirmed all targets were in range. At the U.S. command station, a single message appeared. Target locked. Awaiting execution code. The sea was silent, but the final moment for the 78 boats had arrived. At 4:01 a.m., the attack began from beneath the waves. The USS Texas fired 2 Mk-48 torpedoes. They moved in total silence, aimed not at a single boat, but at the center of the pirate formation where the boats were most crowded. Seconds later, the first torpedo exploded, creating a massive blast that instantly destroyed 3 boats and badly damaged others. The second torpedo detonated nearby, creating a powerful pressure wave that flipped at least 6 more boats over. The pirates' organized attack instantly shattered into chaos. Within 6 seconds of the first explosion, the USS Porter opened fire with its 127mm deck gun. It fired heavy explosive shells, not at individual boats, but into the pre-marked zones where the boat clusters were thickest. From the other side, the USS Preble launched 8 missiles. Each missile was programmed to hunt for the high-speed targets that the drone had marked in red. In the first 18 seconds, 19 boats were destroyed, and 11 more were capsized. The remaining boats panicked and tried to flee. But before they could escape, the second wave of the attack arrived. 2 USMCAH-64E Apache helicopters, which had been flying too low for radar to see, suddenly rose up from the horizon. They were guided by real-time data from the Reaper drone. The Apaches fired their Hellfire missiles, prioritizing the boats with the heaviest weapons. 9 seconds later, all their targets were hit. The Reaper drone continued to scan the battle, spotting 3 boats that were still trying to race toward the Pecos. The drone sent their location directly to the supply ship's own defense system. On the Pecos, a Phalanx CIWS, a powerful, fast-spinning Gatling gun locked onto the approaching boats. At 300 meters, it opened fire. The 20mm tungsten rounds tore all 3 boats apart. When 3 more boats tried to circle around from the west, the USS Porter's guns fired 3 more guided shells, destroying them in under 7 seconds. For the next 3 minutes, the few remaining boats tried desperately to escape. But the sea was now a deadly maze of burning wreckage, oil slicks, and exploding shells. Some boats collided with each other. A group of 5 boats tried to flee together, but the USS Preble launched 2 more missiles and destroyed them all. At 4:06 a.m., a pilot's voice came over the radio. Clear. The combat was over. It lasted 5 minutes and 11 seconds. The sea grew calm. All 78 boats were destroyed, sunk, or disabled. Not one pirate set foot on the Pecos. Not a single shot had hit the ship. The entire attacking force was gone. At 4:48 a.m., smoke still rose from the water. The Reaper drone circled above, recording the scene. The kill box was now a floating graveyard of charred hulls and debris. The final report was sent to command. 74 speedboats were completely destroyed. 4 were captured, found drifting and heavily damaged. It was estimated that between 280 and 300 gunmen had been killed in under 6 minutes. Throughout the battle, not a single American was injured. The ambush had worked exactly as planned. Search teams from the destroyers moved in to recover equipment from the wreckage. They found radios, hard drives, and communication gear. The data they recovered showed that this was a large-scale operation with financial links in Somalia, Yemen, and Sudan. The pirate force was supplied from a logistics base near Garikad, Somalia. A drone was sent to fly over the base and confirmed it held warehouses, fuel reserves, and antennas. Within 3 hours, a new operation, Sweep and Silence, was approved. Its mission was to hunt down and dismantle the entire pirate network, from its leaders to its suppliers. The battle at sea was over, but the shadow war against the network behind it had just begun. A light sea breeze flew across the smoke, carrying with it the smell of burning oil, gunpowder, and destroyed steel. In the skies, the MQ-9 Reaper made its final orbit before returning from the location of the mission. Underneath, torpedo tubes were locked, and the Virginia-class submarine slipped deeper east. All fire systems went back to safe mode. No rounds stayed chambered, no alarm erupted. The battle was over. A massive naval ambush, planned in silence, taken on in stealth, and completed in precisely 5 minutes and 11 seconds. No Americans came on shore, no infantry, no preemptive airstrikes, just patience, precision, and synchronization. The enemy believed they were the hunters, but immediately the first boat crossed the kill box boundary, they fell into a trap and became the prey. Every coordinate they passed, every approach they used, every signal they sent, all calculated days in advance. And when the moment arrived, the killing blow was delivered without any mistakes. This was a stark demonstration of modern warfare's nature. No longer a battle between men, but a symphony of intelligence, technology, firepower, and absolute understanding of timing. The U.S. Navy didn't need to open fire first. They just needed the right moment. And at the chosen time, the strike destroyed all threats in minutes. USNS Pecos remained unharmed. The enemy's attack was completely obliterated. American warships with any casualties, and the sea, even if for a moment, temporarily returned to peace. But the message was clear. Any force daring to probe, threaten, or dream of disrupting America's core maritime routes should get to know one thing. The ocean is not a place to test luck, and if they proceed, the price will be paid in iron, fire, and silence. If you think this battle deserves to be known, let others know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more in-depth battlefield analysis. See you in the next battle.